Hello everyone, this is Ebba here. Welcome back. We're continuing with the card that we started on the last video. And part of my throat, it's doing its own thing. I'm going to do my best to get through this and make this video for tomorrow. I wanted to start today with a very loose layout of how I want this card to kind of look, so that you can get a better idea maybe of where we're headed and what we're going to be doing. All those cutouts that I did not show you, but I did them. They're all done on black cardstock, and they're all stickers. And all of these are stickers on black cardstock. And in a couple of minutes, I'll show you how I did that. I also have to tell you that we won't be able to be laminating with a laminating machine, because the laminating machine, when I turned it on to try to test it, wasn't working. Gary took it apart and the thermocouple was gone. The machine is finished. We'll have to be getting a new one, but that's not going to happen for a little while. No laminating machine for foiling. But that's okay, because we can foil without it. We'll use glue, and I'll show you how we do that. How you can make pretty things. What I want to be doing is foiling on this area here, on the two side edges, underneath, in sort of a mottled look. So you'll see little bits of gold coming through, but it won't be solid gold back there. It's just going to be the look of sort of a mottled look. And I'll show you how we do that with the glue. So I'm going to take this all apart and we'll get started, and I'll show you what my ideas are for it. Okay, hang on. Okay, that didn't take long. All right, so the first thing I wanted to show you was how I made those things. So like they are. So yeah, I have all these different stickers. They're really beautiful, a lot of them. I know they came from a My Porch Prints kit of some sort. It was I believe it was from an ephemera kit, but I'm really not sure which one. So you can always go over and look through their various kits that aren't My Porch Prints on Etsy and see. But there are some really, really pretty floral images. And it was lots, there was lots of them. So I just wanted to show you how I actually made the ephemera that I'm going to be using. So I took a sticker and I just peeled it off very carefully. You want to do this gently. You don't want to be ripping the sticker at this point. You just take it gently off, and if it's got spots like this white, sometimes that's been cut and sometimes it hasn't. In this case, a little white area has not been cut. You can kind of see that on my finger, I think. This little white area here is what I'm talking about. Anyway, then this is just a scrap piece of black cardstock, but you can use things like this for this kind of thing. And then I just carefully laid it on, making sure that I had it on the black, and then just carefully lay it down so it's nice and flat. And then you just fussy cut that out. Or use one of your, if you've got a Brothers Scan and Cut. I scanned and cut all of the ones using this Scan and Cut after I'd laid it all out onto 8.5 by 11 black cardstock. This is the cardstock that we used for making the card. Now this is a 174 GSM cardstock. And the white cardstock that we were using is 199 GSM, just to allow you to go and sort of find that if you want to. But these turned out really nice when the brother cut them out. Now, the ones in the middle, I didn't have it cut them. Because it's black cardstock, it's going onto a thing that has a black background. Once it's laid down, you're never going to know that black is not part of the card behind. And I ended up having a few extras once I'd laid everything down, which I may or may not be using some of them in the card. Things like this with the leaf, a lot of leaf, and then there's a bit of flower. I may use that just to sort of fill in someplace. This one here, I could even cut this big flower off and just use just the leaf part if I need fillers, and that's why I've just kind of set them to one side here, and I'll leave them sitting over there until we use them, if we use them. But that's how I made these things. And I mean, if you don't have a brother scan and cut, and you don't have to use one, you can just sit and, when you're watching a video, for instance, just cut them all out. It takes a bit of time, and you do have to kind of watch what you're doing so that, you cut around them. But as you can see on this, I think you can see that there is white edging on this from the initial sticker cuts, and that's fine because it just helps it to separate it from the other images that are going to be possibly behind this. Now, I don't particularly need this leaf, so I'm not going to bother cutting it out, but I wanted to show you how I did that. Okay, that's that. Now, next we're going to be getting into, I've saved these other stickers, by the way. These stickers may be used as fillers in between because I can just stick them either on top of the other flowers or behind them or something, and just stick them flat and use them as an actual sticker. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the card. I've got things here that I need to bring out. Now, because I couldn't use the laminator, I couldn't make my own vinyl sheet, or acetate sheet, I should say. But that's okay. I mean, this is, I don't even know where this came from. It's probably from packaging of some sort. It's fairly heavy, this particular piece, but it doesn't really matter. You don't need particularly heavy. And what I've also done is, after I shut off, if you remember, the card had bits of white edging showing everywhere. And that's because we put together the white and the black. And so the white was kind of showing. So I just took the Sharpie and you just gently lay it on its side, and you kind of go around the edges like this, and just color the white black. I did that pretty much everywhere, missed a little bit on some edges, but it's fine. The little bits that you do miss won't really be noticed, because people are going to be looking at what you did on the card. I hope that's what they're looking at, and not looking for the mistakes. Anyway, so that did that to the card, and I did veer off every now and then and make little marks that they end up getting a kind of a reddish look to them. But on the inside, of course, I got stuff smudgy all over the place, and that's okay. What I've decided, because I needed to do this anyway, is I found a paper that I really quite liked. It's very pale, kind of a wood grain, and I actually really quite like it. So I laid my card on it, and I traced around, and I cut out a piece that would fit for the front, on the back of the front part. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this. So what I did is I turned it over, laid my card on, and now I hope you can see the lines, and just traced it. And this I'll just be cutting out with just scissors, and that'll go on the back. Now on this front part, we need to kind of open it up and flatten it a little bit. It doesn't really want to flatten because there's two pieces of card stock that are overlapping each other and are therefore each making their own little mark in the world. So, it's a little harder to get it to want to lay open flat, but that's okay. We'll manage. There it is, more or less, in the part that you need to see. The bottom is kind of down here, but that's okay. All right, and what I want to do is, because I want my acetate in here on the back of the front of the card, I want my acetate in this area, so that I can utilize this acetate as well. So, but I don't need to cut like a full, for the whole card. I just need that area. I just need a little bit around the edge. Then I can cut just a little square around the edge of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my Sharpie, and this one happens to have a dual tip, which I really like the ones that have the dual tip, if it'll write for me. I really like them when they write for you. I don't like them so much when they don't. And I'm just making a bit of a mark so that I've got an idea of where I kind of need to cut this. And I'm going to see if I can take that off once I'm finished. I should be able to do it with the rubbing alcohol style stuff. And then I'll get my scissors. I'm just debating if I should use my scissors or I should use my... Maybe I'll use my cutter because it might cut straighter. If I can get this to kind of line up. See, I can see it. You can't maybe see it, but I can kind of see where the little line is. And if I move my cutter blade kind of up. Actually, if I turn this over, hang on. I'm just going to turn this over because I can cut them from here, about there, yeah, about there. Oh, that may or may not cut. It's at least going to mark it for me, even if it doesn't cut. Oh, it did cut. Oh, excellent. Good little thing. Good. Okay, then I'm going to move this up here. And I've kind of got it. I've pushed it up right up on the top here. Sorry. Pushed it up right up on the top here so that it's squared off. And I've taken my little line that I drew and I've completely got it in the wrong place. So it's a good thing I opened this and looked. But my little lines are both here now. And it's squared off. Okay, so let's try that again. And I'm only coming down to where I can feel it, where I can feel the other line is. I think. Yeah, we did it. Yay! Okay, so that can set aside in the big pile that I'm growing over there in the corner. And we'll set that aside again because we don't need it. And now we have a nice piece of acetate that we can glue onto the card. And we'll just glue it around here. And then we'll put the other part over the top. And you won't see any of the black, and you won't see the acetate or any of that once we get that done. What I want to try is, it's a bit of this sanitizer stuff. This stuff has alcohol in it, which I really quite like. And it might clean that up. I've had pretty good luck with this stuff taking alcohol off. This alcohol stuff, taking marks off of different pieces. So yeah, so that cleaned it quite nice. There. Alright, and then I'll just wipe the rest off with my finger. I'm gonna have to clean this with a proper cleaner when we're all done, because it's really marked up. But that cleaned that off quite nice. Alright, good. Put that back up there. Wipe this so it's gone. Okay. And here we go. So we're going to go get our glue, and we're just going to glue this in like this. And I think that'll work really quite nicely. Now, this glue that I use is quite good for gluing almost anything, really. In the paper realm, I don't think it would do much in any other capacity, but paper, various kinds of paper. I've never tried doing acetate, so we shall see how this goes. It shouldn't do too bad. It's gluing it on to cardstock, so I think it should do fine. Most, this is a PVA type of glue. I have no idea what the PVA stands for. I know it's a water-based glue because you can mix it with water to thin it down if you need to. I don't know what the PVA actually says, if you know what I mean. There, let's line that up. And I'm pushing toward the cardstock, not toward like the other parts. And then we'll clean it up later before we start putting things onto it. I think that's okay. That's gonna be good. Okay, now we're gonna put the little flappy thing on, the cover part. And again, we'll put quite a bit of glue on these on the acetate area, and try not to get any on the area we don't want it on over in here. Yeah, and it's tough breathing today. Again, the temperature dropped again, so it's been a little bit harder for me breathing. I think of all the things that have gone wrong in my old age, this has been the hardest to contend with, is the not being able to breathe properly, because it stops you from doing so much. When you can't breathe, it's really, really difficult to get through the day, because you just can't do things. You've got to basically sit still like a lump and do nothing. There. That's good. Now, if there's any sticking over on the edge, we'll just tidy that up later. But for now, look at that. Now we have acetate on the front. Oh, this stuck up. It's okay. You know what? It's going to be covered with flowers. I should loosen this back a little off the acetate, because I want to be able to put things here as well as on the acetate behind it and on the front of the card. So if I loosen that back off, then I can do that. And that white will be gone. It'll disappear. This on the edge, I can clean that up with my scissors. Probably open it up better. Come on. Gotta cooperate, you. Just there. There. You couldn't see it, but I had to have my tongue in my teeth and all the rest. Get that to cut nice. And now we have a bit of white showing again, but I might be able to cover that up with, there's going to be so many flowers on here. You're not really going to see that. It's just not going to show. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing with the back now. I'm going to just cut this bit out. And then we'll cover up the back, and then we'll have that all nice. But I think I'll hold off on covering the back till after we put all the flowers on, because we may want to cover something up that's on the back. I haven't decided exactly how I'm doing things yet. And if I put something on the back behind in here, sorry, can you see that? If I put something back here, then when we put the little frame on, it'll cover anything up on the back there and just make it quite nice. All right, we're getting there. We are getting there. I keep forgetting about my little green lines too, that are off screen today. I've got them so that they're not showing. We're just doing fantastic. There. All right, we're going to set that big sheet aside. Now, this paper came out of my stash. No idea where I got it or anything. I know it was a book that I had bought, and I got it for $1 someplace. So I have no idea where. When we bought our Cricut, we went into various places. We went to the States for a couple of winters in a row. We were living in a motorhome. A ratty old thing, but it was a lot of fun. We spent 2 winters in the U.S. in the Nevada area. We were in and around Las Vegas, but we didn't do things on the Strip and all that stuff. We were not tourists. We were just living down there. Anyway, we went into various stores and we bought books and we bought all sorts of things. And I think that might have been something we picked up down there, but I have no idea. It's probably not available anywhere, because when we bought it, like I said, it was $1. It was on sale. Okay, let's start doing some of this. Now, I want to do the foil first. So I have actual foil glue by the Deco Foil people. I had to be bop off, sorry, I'm back. I had to go and get some parchment paper to put some glue on. and I needed a sponge, and I have no idea where my makeup sponges have gone. So this is a sponge that I bought for painting, using one of those brush things. You stick it on the back and use it. I'm just going to use my hands. And I'm going to put down some of this Eileen's glue or Aleen's glue in a kind of a, if I can get enough out to do it, in a kind of a blob here. As I just want to be able to pick some glue up and put it on the thing. Now I haven't decided. I'm looking at foils, and I have 3 different sort of golds. This one's more flat. This one's more of a rose gold, and that's a shiny gold. And I'm thinking I really want the shiny gold, not the sort of flat gold this time, just because. So with the foil, you don't want to like have a huge amount at a time when you're doing what I'm trying to do. So I'm just going to cut. Can you see me? Yeah. I'm going to cut a bit about. I'm going to get my scissors to work on the foil. Oh dear. I'm going to have to get Gary to sharpen my scissors later. Here. These are my favorites because they're lightweight. They're easy for me to hold. And they have a nice big grippy part here for my hands, so that when my hands shake, yeah, they don't move the scissors. As you get older, you get things like, shaking hands sometimes, and things like that. And I happen to get it now and again. It's not having a lot of strength in my system. I know it used to be shaky about anything, I'll tell you. But now, life is what it is. There, I've got some pieces. If I need more, I can cut more later. So I've got a few pieces to work and play with. Now this foil pen, I'm going to be using it on the letters, on the writing, or the little hearts or something like that, because it has a really different tip on it. It's got a kind of a, can you see the rounding? It's kind of a rounded tip on it, and the glue comes out to that tip, and then you use it to spread around, and where you put the glue is going to end up sticky. Now the instructions say to just, well, the instructions aren't on the actual pen. Anyway, you put it down and you leave it for a few minutes, or not minutes, but seconds, so that it gets kind of sticky, because you don't want it wet. You want it sticky, and then you put the foil on and you press with the foil. Now, where's my pressy thing? Uh-oh. Well, I can use this. See, you can use things as long as they're big enough, and sure, stick my finger in it. We're doing good. You can use things like this to press, as long as it's flat. You don't want to be pressing with the thing, because you don't want to dig the foil, but this would work. On the end here would work. So we're going to use that, because I can't see my flat one. I do have a flat one. No idea where it is. No worries. Anyway, what I wanted to do is I just want this kind of mottled on the side, like not a big sponge. So I'm just going to pick up some glue on my sponge real light. There's not very much there. And I'm going to press down and kind of press down a bit like that. And then, because it's going to be really thin, this should work really good for the foil. So you put the foil down like this. You press, right? And I'm looking for my pressy thing that I just had. You press like that. Let's see if I let it sit. Oh yeah, look at that. See that? That's really quite nice. And this is just Eileen's glue that I'm using right now. So if it's thin enough, you don't have to wait too long for it to sort of be ready for you. This is the look I wanted. So I'll press this down. Now, I'm missing holes, of course, where I used it before, but you see, you can use the same foil piece until there is none. And if you've got a place where you didn't get, stuff, like I want some here, I want some here, oops, that's too much. I want some here on the edge where that bit is that, was kind of showing through. Now I don't want to go down into this big part down at the bottom. I just want to do these sides. Not that much. Come on. Cooperate. Like this. And then I'm going to take a different piece because I got quite a bit there. And then do a little pressy. Pressy, pressy, pressy. Lift it up. Come on. Lift up. Be cooperative. Oh, 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 oh. Almost. There. That was a little much. But it's okay. There's a little bit over here might need some. Come on. Like that. So you got this kind of, I've got this kind of mottled look. And in behind the flowers, that's going to show up every now and then. So we'll do this. I think I've got, if I don't have enough glue, I'll put some more down. You don't want to do too large of an area at once, because otherwise your glue will dry too fast for one thing, and you know, you kind of can't keep up with it if you do. This way you can manage the foil. And I mean, there's lots of foil left on these little pieces. Okay, come on. Yeah, see? Yeah, I think I'm going to need a little bit more glue. I think I have enough here. Okay, give me some more glue there. Wow! Big squeeze. Okay. Good. Very lovely. Yeah, you can see my blobby glue. Okay. Grab this. And the sponge I'm using is plenty. Now you could use one of those makeup sponges that has the round end on it. If you wanted, that would work well too. I could try and match this up a little bit. But now I'm going to be using parts that didn't get used. So on this one, let's see. Gosh, that's pretty. Hey, don't you think? I think that's pretty. You're gonna be enough. It's just so that it catches and pulls. If you see a spot, you know, that maybe has glue and may not have enough stuff on it, and you can just, until your glue is dry, you can just, you know, keep doing it. Anyway, I think that it's really nice, and I think that's just about perfect for what I want to do. So I can toss this, the makeup sponge. I was a little sponge. I would wash it, but I don't have water next to me, so it's just going to sit over there, and if it gets wrecked, I've got lots. I bought them in a package. I think there was 100 of them or something. So I have quite a few of them. All right. Surprise! We've had to split this video up because it was just getting too long for you to watch all in one go. So the next one, part 3, I think it will be on Tuesday, and this one will be, of course, on Saturday when you're watching it. So thank you for watching so far, and we finished the card in the next part, and it turns out beautiful. Oh, I wish I could show you right now. It's done, but you'll have to wait. Anyway, we will see you in the next one. Please do the liking and the subscribing and the commenting and all the good stuff to help us out. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Bye.